I am in a hotel and I am on a date. Not what you think. No, with the Lord. Yes, I'm on a date with God. They always ask, how do I build a relationship with God? The way we build relationships with others, we want closeness with those people. We go on dates, we spend time with those people. That's the same thing that we do with the Lord. We can go on dates with the Lord. Actually, in 2021, when I came across the work of A.W. Tozer, I was really impressed with his devotion to the Lord. One of the things that I read about him was that he used to go on 4-hour train ride, just spending quiet time with the Lord. After 4 hours, he would get to his destination, get on another train, 4 hours to go back home. And he would spend like 8 hours just spending quiet time with the Lord, devotion time with the Lord. When I read that, I was really impressed. And this is the time when I used to work in Northern Canada, and I used to travel a lot. And these are like small communities, but they are so far apart, like 5 hours drive. Even to drive from my community to the main city, it was like 3 hours. And I used to enjoy those times because I would just be worshiping, or sometimes listening to an audiobook, or sometimes just praying and having intimate time with the Lord. So I loved those times. This is not actually the first time that I have gone on a date with the Lord. In 2023, November, I went on a 3-week isolation date with the Lord in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes. You'll be wondering why Atlanta, of all the cities in the States. Well, Atlanta is where God is calling me to. Actually, at the time, I was also listening to one person that I follow, and she said, the Lord said to her, meet me in Atlanta. She said she didn't want to go there. And I'm thinking like, girl, I would pack my bags in a moment and go to Atlanta. And I begged the Lord. I said, God, please, please, I want to go to Atlanta. Please say it to me too, Lord. October 2023, Bishop Jakes preached a message. It was titled Blind Date with God. That was the time when I felt it clearly in my spirit that God was saying, okay, yeah, meet me in Atlanta. I remember even just praying and saying, God, okay, I don't want to go ahead of you because I'm excited. I want to go to Atlanta. Are you really calling me to go to Atlanta? I said, I need a sign. I don't want to make any decision out of the flesh, out of excitement, just because I want to go there. And so I was in Atlanta for 3 weeks in a hotel. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't going to the movies. I had such a beautiful time. When I say that I go on dates with the Lord, when I do that, I tell my family members, I said, you are okay. God will take care of you guys. Nobody should call me unless it's an emergency. But because I was in the States, I would just check in, like maybe after 2 days, I would just check in with my daughter and my friends to say, hey, I'm okay, just so you guys know that I'm okay. And I'd given them the location of the hotel that I was at. I go to Atlanta, I meet with the Lord, it's amazing. But at the time when I was in Atlanta, I had a lymph node on the side that was growing. I began just feeling weak and my hair was breaking, and the lymph node began to grow. So I went back to the hospital. This is after the Atlanta date with the Lord. I went to the hospital and they kept on bouncing me back from scan to scan, and nobody was saying anything. February goes by and nobody's saying anything. March is going by, April is going by, and all that I get is, oh, go to for another scan, and then it will be quiet for 2-3 weeks. And God was quiet too. I had this amazing time with him in Atlanta, and then 2024 he's silent. That was for 5 months. God was silent, but I kept on pursuing him. In May, my daughter said, Mom, you have to go. Just go to a hotel for a weekend and just seek the face of God. Fast and pray and seek the face of God. It was the second week of May. I went on a date again with the Lord in a hotel, shut down all communication, and just fasting and praying and seeking the Lord. When I left after 2 days, I was so recharged. I was feeling good. God said nothing, but I was feeling okay. After that date with the Lord that weekend, finally I get a call from the hospital that I had to go and see an oncologist. I go see an oncologist, and they told me that I had cancer. I said, cancer? The nurse looked up the records. She said, yeah, cancer. Nobody told you that you had cancer? I said, no. And I was so calm. I had such peace. I convinced myself that I was in shock. To cut the story short, I had such a beautiful journey with the Lord. Cancer is a monster. The treatment is aggressive, but I really saw the hand of God through it all. Inwardly, in my spirit, I was in such a great place. It was that good spiritually with the Lord. That was my cancer journey with the Lord after I went on a date with God. So this time around, I had to come on a date because it's been 5 long years of isolation, doing life with God one on one, living extremely isolated. I get to a point where I'm feeling like, okay, where is this promise? When are we going to move, Lord? It's discouraging at times. Yes, we show up, but it is not easy. When God goes quiet on us, it's not the time for us to go scroll or connect with friends and say, well, God is quiet. I don't know what is going on. It's time for us to zone in. It's time for us to pursue Him. It's time for us to look for Him in scriptures, to look for Him in sermons, to say, okay, where are you? Talk to me. I cannot function with you being quiet. So, friends, I am on a date with the Lord in the hotel. You might be wondering, like, so what do you do when we are on a date with the Lord in a hotel? Just spend time with God. Just the routine that I have with the Lord. I still wake up in the middle of the night to pray and spend time with the Lord. And when I wake up in the morning, it's prayer again. I listen to the Bible. I go to the gym and work out, and I'm listening to sermons. I am just feeding myself. So for this weekend, what I did was that every 2 hours I was praying. I had written down prayer items of the things that I was praying for. So the thing that I realized about every 2 hour prayer thing is that because I was just in the presence of God, I'm not taking any phone calls, I'm not checking any messages, any emails, any notifications, I'm not checking anything. It's just my time with the Lord. So when that happens, when you go for prayer, instantly you get into the presence of the Lord without struggling and cranking yourself up. No, you just immediately get into the presence of the Lord. Friends, doing life with God is intentional. We have to be intentional when we are doing life with God. And I want to say that even when you are having quiet time with the Lord in a hotel, you're going to be tempted to check emails, or you're going to be tempted to go onto social media, but that is just a test. We always have to remember that, no, this is my time with the Lord. The same way, if I was on a date with someone that I am interested in, I wouldn't check my phone when I'm with them. I wouldn't be talking to my friends when I'm with them. It's the same thing that we do when we are on a date with the Lord. We don't check anything else. We don't check anybody else. We just dedicate that time to the Lord, because it's not something that comes all the time. So when we have that time, we are intentional about it, and we make it protected space to say, this is just my time with the Lord. I am cutting off everybody. I'm cutting off all the noise, and I'm just spending time with God. And it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I know that not all of us can afford to go on a date, but if you live by yourself, then you don't have to go anyway. You are already in a good place to just spend time with the Lord. That is what I wanted to share. Have a great week ahead, and God bless you all. I'll see you on Friday.